You've probably heard of twin flames, but you might not know exactly what they are. In short, twin flames are two energetically connected people who share the same soul. Twin flames are actually quite similar to soulmates in that they can be any romantic connection you seek, from friendship to lovers to anything in between. Twin flame ascension is a process of spiritual growth and healing that happens when one person decides to embark on their own path of enlightenment by breaking free from their twin's energetic dominance and living out their life on their own terms. The purpose of this blog post is to talk about 15 signs that could indicate someone has begun the ascension process. Some signs might be excellent, while others are pretty scary because they can show how much we have been suppressing our authentic selves and how much work we still need to do before aligning with our true selves. That being said, it is essential to remember that every sign mentioned in this blog post should be seen as something positive because it means your personal ascension process is beginning. What is a twin flame ascension? Different people have defined twin flame ascension in different ways. Some people believe that the ascension process involves the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or even quantum levels. There are many misconceptions about what it means to ascend as well. Some believe that ascension is all about the individual, while others have said it's a collective experience in which we all participate. In essence, none of these statements are wrong. It's just important to realize that they are all opinions. In my opinion, twin flame ascension typically starts after separation from your twin flame. You begin to heal and attain a higher level of spiritual growth, which leads to reconnecting with them on a higher vibrational frequency. You may not be able to see their physical form, but you can feel their presence and connect with them on an energetic level. The ultimate goal of twin flame ascension is union-reunion with one's divine self, which enables us to create new life altogether. Being a process, twin flame ascension happens in a series of stages where you first have to accept the separation, and then progress through a healing stage. While healing, you'll experience spiritual and physical symptoms of ascension, which we'll discuss later in the article. The next thing is that you'll understand your purpose for being here and learn how to work on yourself so that you're able to return to your senses and reunite with your twin flame. 15 twin flame ascension signs and symptoms. Twin flame ascension symptoms can vary from person to person. It is essential to know that you may not have all these symptoms, but a combination of them will indicate that you are undergoing the ascension process. 1. Energy levels fluctuate significantly. Your energy levels may change drastically throughout the day, where 1 minute you'll feel energized entirely and the next minute completely drained out. Sometimes there will be sudden waves of energy that come out of nowhere and leave you feeling invincible, then moments later followed by waves of lethargy, where nothing seems worth doing anymore. In my early stages of ascension, my energy levels decreased to the point where I needed to sleep every few hours. This left me tired and unable to complete tasks that required a lot of mental work. It took a long time for this symptom to go away, and thankfully, now I don't need nearly as much sleep or rest anymore. 2. Change in appetite and eating habits. Another common sign of twin flame ascension is a sudden change in one's appetite. You may find that you suddenly crave healthier food, or you may want to give up meat altogether. You might notice that you eat less or find that certain types of food make you feel uncomfortable in your body. You may start craving unusual foods, such as greens and fresh fruit, or you may notice that you lose interest in the things you used to enjoy. If you're in a partnership, it's possible that your twin has undergone a similar change in appetite, and this could contribute to tension between the two of you. 3. Psychic abilities. You may find that you start picking up on things around you that others don't. You may also start feeling a strong pull towards studying metaphysics or spirituality more deeply. Many twin flames ascend because they're meant to help each other heal from past wounds, so their psychic gifts tend to develop during ascension. One of my primary triggers for twin flame ascension was when I started sensing negative energies in people around me, and what foods were best for healing particular health conditions. The night I had my first experience of sensing negative energy, I was walking home from the grocery store, and a woman in her late 40s crossed the street to walk toward me. Her eyes were almost glazed over and she seemed oblivious to anything around her. It felt like there was a wall of negativity in front of me, and it came close enough for me to feel it on my skin. 4. Your senses become heightened. One of the most common signs of twin flame ascension is heightening sensitivity in your sense of sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. You might notice things more than usual or have insights into people's emotions. For instance, your eyes may suddenly become very sensitive to light. In my ascension process, I often noticed that if a torch was lit or any light bounced through a shiny object such as a mirror, it appeared like flashes in my vision. I also experienced shadow people, with some colors being much brighter than others. Similarly, you may find it uncomfortable to be around certain sounds, smells, or sights. I once couldn't stand the noise of fireworks because they reminded me of gunshots from my childhood trauma. Some smells like flowers, fresh laundry, or coffee made me nauseous. On the other hand, you may develop a strong attraction toward foods previously unappealing to you, such as meat and sweets. You may notice increased sensitivity to heat, so your AC might always be set at 75 degrees during summertime, or winter coats would make you shiver even when they're not necessary. 5. Strong intuitions become common. As your senses heighten, you may find yourself relying on your intuition more often than ever before. You might feel compelled to do things without knowing why, like picking up a new skill or changing your job or location for no apparent reason. You might get strange gut feelings about things, like whether you should take an offer or stay put in a situation. Your gut feelings might also appear at odd times after seeing something happen in the news, while watching TV, or while scrolling down social media feeds. All these prepare you for taking control of your life again, and making decisions based on what feels right rather than what society tells you to do. 6. You feel greater love for your partner. During twin flame ascension, many partners experience intense bursts of love that only intensify their relationship with one another. This is especially true if both partners are experiencing the same ascension symptoms, but not always. Often partners report feeling closer to each other and wanting to spend more time together during ascension, even if they've been living separately for some time beforehand. On the flip side, some relationships can suffer during twin flame ascension due to the significant changes within themselves or their lives. 7. You feel younger. Sometimes twin flames ascend because they are meant to shift life scripts significantly. One thing I observed about myself through twin flame ascension is that I was 18 years old in terms of my soul age. This means I had all the wisdom, patience, understanding, love, compassion, and maturity of an 18-year-old soul. 8. New awareness of self-destructive patterns. As we rise higher into our ascension process, we become aware of any self-destructive patterns we have carried into adulthood. One of the things I noticed in my ascension is that I had developed a pattern of suppressing my needs and desires. This resulted from being raised in a family where everyone tried to please the parents instead of following their passions. Suppressing your needs for the sake of pleasing someone else is ultimately unfulfilling, so it's natural to start feeling drawn to expressing yourself freely during twin flame ascension. For me, this manifested as becoming increasingly outspoken and rebellious. 9. Twin flame ascension headache. One of my twin flame ascension symptoms was an excruciating headache. This lasted for almost 2 weeks, although it seemed like longer at the time. I couldn't sleep well because of the pain, so I spent much of that time watching television instead. Luckily, it went away on its own. A twin flame ascension headache is a warning that you need to slow down, take care of yourself, and get rest. You may find that your ascension intensifies once the headaches go away. 10. Muscular pain and tension. As we ascend, twin flames often experience physical pain. Pain can be caused by muscular tension or stress, and since our bodies are still vibrating at a frequency lower than that of light, it can create an intense experience of suffering. During my twin flame ascension, I experienced severe tightness in my jaw, backaches, and stiff muscles. Luckily, these symptoms resolved pretty quickly after I made some changes to my life. 11. Twin flame ascension flu. Another one of my twin flame ascension symptoms was a sinus infection that developed into a bad case of flu. It lasted for about 2 weeks, during which time I basically stayed home from work. I would say that the fever, chills, achy joints, sore throat, and congestion were among the most unpleasant twin flame ascension symptoms I experienced. However, This period turned out to be one of my most transformative periods, as I gained new insights into my relationship with money. 12. A great desire for healing. I was drawn to healing modalities like Reiki, sound therapy, and massage during my twin flame ascension. I ended up booking a lot of massages, which proved to be incredibly beneficial in easing muscle tension. If you're going through twin flame ascension symptoms, you may find that your body is experiencing pain or imbalance. This can result in an intense desire for healing, for yourself and others. 13. You discover your life path. In later stages of ascension, we may find that we feel compelled to leave the careers and relationships that no longer serve us. This can be difficult if you've been tied to your career for years and don't know what else to do. This sense of not knowing what I want to do with my life has been one of the more frustrating twin flame ascension symptoms for me. But if we trust in ourselves and follow our intuition, the right opportunities will eventually come along. 14. You find closure with your past. The twin flame ascension journey can stir up a lot of emotional issues from our past. During my ascension, I found myself experiencing a level of emotional release that I'd never experienced before. Though it wasn't always easy to deal with my past, as some emotions were quite intense and even painful, I also felt truly blessed to be able to open up in such a beautiful way. 15. You receive an ultimate physical and spiritual awakening. Twin flame ascension symptoms can affect our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional being. They are signs that we are ascending to higher frequencies of love. These symptoms provide valuable information about who we have become, where we have come from, where we're going, and how far we've traveled. While they may cause discomfort or confusion in the short term, they provide great clarity and rejuvenation in body and spirit when viewed over time. At the end of the ascension, you'll finally understand why you went through this whole process. Your perspective on everything in your life and your place in the world will change.